Hello guys, how are we doing and welcome back to the channel. Today marks the start of Season 3 on MW3 and I cannot wait. There's a bunch of changes here. Today's video we're going to be covering everything to do with ranked play, when it's going to be dropping, new maps, massive weapon nerfs, the MCW and rival included, other loadout changes, top 250 cleanse and tons more. Unfortunately, if you're here for a full breakdown of the patch notes of today's update, you're not going to find it here. I'm solely focused on ranked play, but I will leave the patch notes down in the description below. If there's anything else you're a little bit more interested in, any other gun nerfs that that aren't in ranked play, it's all going to be down in the patch notes. Now, for you grinders of ranked play, like myself, this is a massive update. You might need to change your class a little bit, but yeah, we're going to kick it off with the start and then we'll go through it. So make sure you guys stay to the end because every little bit of info I'm trying to squeeze in here is important if you're a ranked play grinder. So kicking off, ranked play is going to be delayed after the start of Season 3. The start of Season 3 is supposed to happen at 6 PM British summertime, where I am. Obviously, that'll determine, it'll be at different times, different areas of the world. And typically, it takes a couple of hours to track to sort out ranked play, revert everyone's stats, and really start the season again. So we're probably looking at about 7 to 8 o'clock BST for ranked play to actually come out. So make sure you stick around. If not, if you don't want something to do in the meantime, hop on multiplayer and enjoy the new maps. You will be set back a few tiers, so it's exactly the same as before, but I will cover it for those of you who don't know. You will go back 3 tiers unless you're in Crimson or above, where everyone will just go back to Diamond 1. So say, for example, if you are, let's say, Diamond 2, you'll go down to Plat 2. If you're Gold 2, you'll go down to Silver 2. If you're the number 1 in the top 250, however, you'll go down to Diamond 1, as long with anyone else in Crimson or anyone else in Iridescent. So everyone's all the sweat bags, including myself, will be down to Diamond 1. They also put out a little bit of an update on Twitter saying that they're basically they're prohibiting ranked play progression boosting. It's a violation of the Call of Duty security enforcement policy, and they're really clamping down on it. So if you've boosted your account or you want your account boosted, they're clamping down on it. They're finding people's accounts who have been flagged for such activities and will undergo a reset of their account SR progression. So stay away from any sort of boosting services because you can get in a little bit of trouble. They've also done a huge top 250 cleanse. So it says here they've placed a high priority of the integrity of a ranked play leaderboards by clearing them out of the accounts in question, including people who have been boosted, including people who have been hacking. So they're going to continue to monitor the leaderboards with new detections to identify boosted accounts and may fully reset SR and detected boosted accounts periodically to ensure our leaderboards reflect good, fair gameplay. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of context here, somebody on my Twitter feed was 2,500 away from being in the top 250, and now they're comfortably 100 points in it. So if you're about before the update, you were about 3,000 SR off of the top 250, you're probably going to find yourself in the top 250 last year, and you'll get all the new last season, and you'll get all the top 250 rewards. So that's a massive plus in my books. I love that. Cleans the game. Hopefully removes the hackers and any sort of boosted accounts. Next, we're going to be looking at the new maps. Tanked and 6-star look like the best maps for multiplayer. They're decent 3 lanes map. They're not too big. They're not too small. The hardpoint rotations look fairly decent, and I'm really happy to see these. Specifically, I really think 6-star looks a little bit like Raid from the top. So I'm really excited. I hope they trial these the same way they did Vista, the same way they did Departures in ranked play, even if it's for a weekend at a time, just to get us, try and expand the map pool out. I don't like how small it is. I'm more than happy testing these out in ranked play. If they're crap, they'll take them out at the end of the day, won't they? Obviously, let me know your thoughts on anything I'm going through today. I'm interested, as always, to hear your feedback and your comments, which I obviously always read. We've also got a new game type, which I don't usually talk about because obviously in ranked play you have the 3 main game types: Control, Hardpoint, and S&D. But they're bringing Capture the Flag to the game, which is an interesting thing because Capture the Flag would have been an incredible game mode to be playing in MW3 ranked play. Over Control, potentially, I think, but although Control doesn't play awfully, I think ranked play would have been a nice addition. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, next year's COD does have the introduction of ranked play as Capture the Flag, in its third game mode in ranked play itself. Just as an update, there are a bunch of new guns, including Sniper, new SMG, a melee weapon. There's a new AR coming mid-season. They are all banned from the rip when MW3 ranked play replenishes today. So if you're hoping to use the new SMG in ranked play, you're not going to be able to. It's banned because it's just going to be too OP, and they don't like to let people suffer, which I don't mind. Usually it is the case. They are really overpowered. They've also done a little bit of adjustment in the way idle sway works. So they're making it a more more of a pattern. It's less random. It's way more predictable. And essentially what they've said is, we've removed variance from aiming down sight idle sway, resulting in a predictable and consistent motion curve. This change raises the skill ceiling and rewards players who take the time to master their favourite weapons. Essentially, you're going to be able to shoot straighter. The game's going to be a little bit less random in its idle sway, so you're going to be able to read its sway and therefore recoil a little bit better. So that's a dub in my books. A nice little help from the game there. There's also a little bit of a map fix. So in Skidrow, if you don't know, you could have contested the hill from this area just here into P1, and obviously they fixed that now, which is a massive dub, because that was really quite irritating, having to just beam that corner of the wall to kill anyone coming out, anyone, you know, contesting in that area. But now we move on to the weapon changer. Now, this is probably what you're here for, because this is what's going to impact you probably most out of everything I've mentioned. So the MCW has been nerfed. Essentially, all they've done is reduce the headshot multiplier from 1.3 to 1.1, meaning the MCW cannot 4-shot kill with one headshot in its mix. A lot of the times, especially if you're a rival user out there, you get into a close range engagement with the MCW, they get a headshot just from hip firing or just spraying, and you die in 4 bullets. You die so quickly. That's going to happen a lot less. Thankfully, I don't mind that. For me, MCW shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen with an AR. You're going to need to be a little bit more accurate, maybe get 2 headshots in the mix to get a 4-shot kill, and actually intend to hit a headshot for that little benefit. So that's as I say, I'm using this a lot, but that's a massive dub from me. We then have a rival nerf. So the rival's been nerfed in several areas. So firstly, its sprint to fire time has increased by 18%, meaning that whilst going from sprinting to shooting, it's going to take you approximately a fifth longer. They've decreased the near medium damage from 27 to 25 by 7%. They've decreased medium damage by 8%, and they've also decreased the lower torso, lower arm, and hand damage multiplier from 1.1 times to 1 times, decreasing that back to 9%. So you're going to have to be a little bit, you're going to maybe notice the discrepancy in the damage changes in those weird situations. It's probably going to be absolutely normal 80% of the time, but it has had a damage nerf. It's a little bit less mobile. You're going to have to pre-aim a little bit more. You're going to have to be a little bit less reactional, if that's the word. I don't know if that's the word. In order to win your gunfight, so you know, speedy range, and then also you're going to have to hit center mass to guarantee a consistent time to kill. You can't shoot torso, lower torso. You can't shoot lower arms, and you can't shoot hands, because you're going to end up with some really inconsistent time to kills. Then there's a couple of attachments that I know not everyone uses, but the L4R flash hider personally is a muzzle I use on the MCW. Essentially what they've done, they've nerfed this. The horizontal recoil benefit was 13%. It's now 10%. So that's a fairly considerable nerf for the L4R flash hider. Basically, it just means that it's going to be a little bit more bouncy side to side than it was before. And then the DR6 hand stop, which was an underbarrel, which commonly used on the MCW2, they've decreased the stray speed by 3 to 4%, depending on the weapon class. Now, obviously, for the MCW, even at a best situation, it's going to be reduced by 3%, which isn't too much. It's probably not going to be crazy noticeable, but I thought it's worth mentioning because a lot of you guys out there probably do use the DR6 hand stop underbarrel, maybe even actually on your Rival 9. There's also been some other class changes, so they've changed the gloves a little bit. So, for example, the quick grip gloves, they've increased the weapon swap speed benefit to a minimum of 40%, which means you're going to be able to switch guns a little bit more faster, a little bit more consistently quicker. And then ordnance gloves, if you do run ordnance gloves, obviously it's added a 20% equipment, field upgrade, and killstreak use speed benefit. So when you throw your equipment, when you use a field upgrade, when you use a killstreak, you're going to be able to use that 20% quicker than you would be without ordnance gloves. And then finally, when we're talking about the gloves, they've buffed the marksman gloves. Essentially, there was a little bit of a bug that caused the 15% sway reduction benefit to not apply. They've since fixed that, so you should find that your marksman glove works a little bit more predictably and a little bit more consistently going forward now. Now, they have also changed the way stuns and frags work. Both of them have been nerfed, you'll be happy to hear. For me, stuns were an absolute bane in my life when playing MW3 rank play, and they've nerfed it. They've basically decreased the victim's aim slowness duration to 300 milliseconds. They've removed the aim slowness effect on victims equipped with tac mask, and they've reduced the victim movement and aim slowness now linearly scales down throughout the stun duration. So you'll find you coming out of that stun phase a little bit more nicely, a little bit more smoothly than you would have previously. And then finally, they've nerfed the frag grenades. They basically decreased the explosive damage by 10% and then decreased the damage sort of range, I should say, like the ranged damage from 150 to 130. So you're going to get a lot less one-hit kills for the frag grenade, which I don't mind. Dying to nades is absolutely jarring, so that's a plus in my book. So that's pretty much it. As I say, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to quickly summarize what we've had. They've cleaned the top 250 out. We're going to see a little bit of a delay in rank play. The rank reset will go back 3 tiers unless you're in Crimson or above. 2 new maps that look comp viable, capture the flags in the game, a fix to Skidrow map, MCW Nerf, Rival Nerf, some attachments nerfs for both guns, and then glove changes, and then stun and frag nerfs too. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want more MW3 content, and that'll do from me. Ciao for now.